Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to your 2013 annual horoscope special. Yes, it is 2013 already, and we have entered the age, the new age that the Mayans had predicted. So right at the end of 2012, we ended one phase of humanity and now have begun the very slow process of moving more and more towards a greater understanding of unity consciousness. And the universe is doing everything it can to support this endeavor and to support this beginning. This year, two big celestial events are going to characterize much of the year. One continues from last year, which is the square between Uranus and Pluto. Uranus in Aries saying, I want freedom, I want independence, and Pluto saying, structure. You got to look at the structure and try to make those two fit, even when sometimes they seem that they don't. The other big celestial event taking place is a grand trine in water. A bunch of power players in the sky are getting together, communicating back to back all year long. And this denotes a time of rising compassion and an awareness of our interconnection. If you'd like to know more about these big events and how they're going to speak to all of us as a collective, you can click on the link that'll take you to my website. It will be a fantastic year. It will be a fabulous year. Enjoy. Hello, fabulous Scorpio. Thank you for being here. Well, I've been telling you for a long time, if you've been a friend and fan of the monthly horoscopes, you know that I'm fond of saying big changes are happening, and I've been telling you this for the last few months of 2012. Well, this year, all of this year, those changes continue in some really important ways. And one of the most significant ways that you will continue to change has to do with eclipses that are taking place in your sign in April and November, and the Mercury retrograde that's taking place for you in the month of October in your sign as well. To me, eclipses are, and especially eclipses in your own sign, probably the most significant thing and the most life-altering event, celestial event, that is going to characterize much of 2013 for you. When eclipses come along, it is the universe attempting to bring you back into alignment with those promises that you made to yourself before you incarnated. And depending on how far off that path you have gone, will determine how dramatically you are brought back onto that path. So I would advise you, as I look at this, and as I have been advising you, especially as 2012 has been ending, to pay attention to your life, to pay attention to what's going on, so that you can start to make those adjustments now, so that when you get to these big, bold months, when you get into 2013 and all these occurrences are happening, including two really important eclipses for you, that the universe doesn't have to really shake your world. Because you've been listening, because you've been living in alignment, what's most likely to happen is that you sort of get an awareness. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. And because you get it, simply because you get it, you are able to find a calm within that. And you're able to embrace the changes, knowing that ultimately they are very, very good for you. I do also think as a Scorpio, you're going to do very, very well with changes that do occur this year. Ultimately, all these changes are helping you to be reborn again, helping you to release what it is that you no longer need, to let it go so that you can step into a more mature and a more realistic and a person who just has a clearer perspective of all of your life and how all of your actions are helping you to get to the next moment and to the next moment. When I think about the sign of Scorpio, Scorpio is the sign of the life, death, rebirth cycle, and it is also a sign that knows inherently and deeply that life is change and that change is the only constant. And that's why when things start getting too steady and too familiar, it can feel off. It can feel like something's not right, even if you aren't consciously putting it into those specific words. Because of this, because of your own nature to embrace and understand the wisdom to change, it does suggest to me that you utilize the changes that happen for you to your absolute advantage. October is going to be really key in this. As I said, it's a Mercury retrograde in your sign, a part of 3 Mercury retrogrades over this year happening in water signs, in your fellow water signs, and you get your turn in the month of October. And this is going to allow you to really go inward and to really ask yourself if you are on a course that you like. As part of this process that I've been saying, the more that you check in with yourself, the more you ask yourself, am I living in alignment with that? And the more you start to make those adjustments to do that, is the less dramatic that the eclipses need to be. Well, a very important part of that process is going to take place for you in the month of October. And that's going to be very valuable to watch. That doesn't mean that the whole year isn't very, very eventful. I do think that this summer is going to be very important for you, and it's going to allow you to secure some opportunities for your advancement and for your prosperity and opportunity for many, many years to come. And there is a certain expansion happening, and the world seems to get bigger for you, or more accurately, it gets smaller for you as your reach gets bigger, and a sense of adventure comes, a sense of joy comes. All of these things are mixed in with this year. Yours is the sign that is going to go through the most change. Yours is the sign that is really going to get to a deeper place, a more deep place of authenticity than any of the other signs. And because of that, I do believe that you are one of the most fortunate ones. You are the favorite of the zodiac, not necessarily because everything's going your way. Thankfully, that's not the case, but more because you become more you become more yourself, and you become more aware of what it means to actually live authentically and to live in alignment with those promises that you made to yourself. When you live in alignment with them, you fulfill those promises. And because they are happening on a soul level, it means that you are doing the things that the soul intended to do, making it especially rewarding. Thank you for watching. Be fabulous and enjoy.